Arlington. I'm the Director of Education here at the Virginia Opera, and we just wanted to welcome you to our first production of our new family series here at the Virginia Opera. So this is The Empress and the Nightingale, and it was written by Dr. Glenn Winters, who is our outreach director, our music director here at the Opera. And these shows are actually shows that go into the elementary schools, and we also do community performances. So this is really a special thing for us to bring it here to the Opera House so you guys can see it. We also, they're performed by our emerging artists, and we have a huge emerging artist training program here at the Virginia Opera. Now after the show, the singers are going to come out to the lobby, and you guys can do a meet and greet and can take pictures and they can sign your program. Okay, well, without further ado, here is the Empress and the Nightingale.
Hello, everyone. Hi, my name is Trevor. The type of performance we're here to do today is called an opera. Now, an opera is like a play that uses vocal and instrumental music to create the characters and depict their changing feelings and emotions. Music is very good at that. I'm an opera singer and I have a baritone voice.
And my name's Sarah and I'm a soprano. That's the highest female voice.
And I'm Alyssa. I'm a mezzo-soprano, so I sing in a lower register than Sarah. Our pianist today is Cody.
So, even though there are just 3 of us players performing on stage today, there are more than 3 characters in our story.
So I will play more than one character.
Our story today takes us back thousands of years to ancient China. It's a story that should be told and retold so it won't be forgotten. The original version is by a famous author from Denmark named Hans Christian Andersen.
It's a story about the power of music. We love stories like that because we're musicians and we feel the power of music every single day.
But it's also a story about animals, like the birds that live all over the world, singing and raising their youth in the forests and woodlands. It's a story to teach us that not all animals can live with people and belong to us, no matter how much we come to love them.
So now let's begin our story. A story called The Empress and the Nightingale. Many thousands of years ago, the world was very different from the world we know today. There were no trains, airplanes, or automobiles, so people couldn't travel the world as you and I often can today. Imagine a time when the world still seemed new, when people lived in small villages instead of big cities, and when there were no computers, televisions, or telephones.
At the time of our story, the people of China were ruled by the Empress, a woman both feared and loved throughout the land. The Empress demanded respect and obedience from every noble and every servant who served at her court. And there were hundreds of them. Nobles like the Chamberlain, who managed daily affairs at the palace, as well as other nobles to advise her on every detail of her kingdom. And there were servants almost without number. Servants to prepare her food, servants to taste the food to make sure it was worthy of the Empress, and other servants to serve the servants.
Each day when the Empress left her royal bedroom to arrive in the royal throne room, everyone in the palace greeted her with a hymn of praise to her greatness.
Sing praise to the Empress, sing praise to her name. Bow, bow in her presence, her glory and her claim.
Radiant as the sunlight,
Lovely as the moon.
all her people love her.
That is why we sing this tune. Sing praise to the Empress, sing praise to her name. Bow, bow in her presence, her glory and her claim.
The Empress was fabulously wealthy, and through the years she spent vast amounts of money to create a palace worthy of her glory. She thought it only fitting that the most powerful woman in the world should have the most splendid home ever built. Her household manager, the chamberlain, traveled the world to obtain the most costly and beautiful furnishings. When the palace and the surrounding palace grounds were finally completed to her satisfaction, her pride was so great that the Empress could not resist a bit of bragging to the chamberlain to express her pleasure.
Who does not admire my palace? Is it not the most beautiful in the universe?
Yes, it is, Your Highness. It most certainly is, Your Highness.
The floors are made of porcelain, the most delicate in the world. My servants walk on tiptoe lest they smash them with their shoes. The walls are made of crystal, the most delicate in the world. My servants speak in whispers lest they shatter them with their voices.
Yes, they do, Your Highness. They most certainly do, Your Highness.
Oh, and my gardens! Who does not admire my gardens? Are they not the most beautiful in the world?
Yes, they are, Your Highness. They most certainly are, Your Highness.
My flowers give off perfume the most delicate in the world. My gardeners tend each blossom as a mother loves her baby. My fruits and vegetables are the most succulent in the world. Their flavor is the tastiest in all of China.
Yes, it is, Your Highness. It most certainly is, Your Highness.
But of all my possessions, the one of which I'm proudest, the one that most reveals my glory, is the music in my palace. The singers I employ are the finest in the world, no, in the universe.
Well, actually,
Yes?
Your Highness,
Well?
on this last point, you may not be entirely correct.
Did you just say that I am not correct? I, the Empress of China?
Your most gracious Highness, allow me to tell you about a fabulous singing bird. A bird in your own kingdom called the Nightingale. I don't mean to contradict you, Empress. I bow before your greatness in humility.
I'm glad to hear it. Yes, I'm certainly glad to hear it.
Beyond your palace grounds and beyond the distant mountains, in a forest thick with trees close by a tiny fishing village, a bird they call the Nightingale is said to sing so beautifully. Her music fills the hearts of those who hear her with joy.
I'm very, very angry. This Nightingale you speak of has not shown the proper respect that is due the Empress of China. I demand that the Nightingale be brought to the palace at once. Do you understand me? I wish to hear her sing. Hear me well, Chamberlain. You shall fetch out this marvelous singing bird and bring her to the palace this very evening. I shall assemble all the lords and ladies of the court for a concert.
I shall do my best to find her, Your Highness. However, your kingdom is vast, and the Nightingale is a small, tiny little creature. It may take some time to locate her.
I have given you your instructions. Now let me explain to you what will happen if my instructions are not obeyed and my wish is not carried out. Following tonight's festive dinner in the royal dining room, I shall have all the lords and ladies of the court sent away to spend 20 years in the royal dungeons, including you, Lord Chamberlain. Do you understand?
In that case, great and mighty Empress, I shall leave at once.
And leave he did, not wasting another second. The Chamberlain had a near impossible task, thanks to his telling the Empress about the song of the Nightingale. Now everything depended on his finding her and bringing her back to the palace, lest he make the Empress angry. He took the fastest horse in the royal stables and set out for the immense forest near a seaside fishing village. In the village, he stood in the town square where fishermen were going about their business. The Chamberlain raised his voice and made a speech.
Men and women of the village, I have come from the palace of Her Royal Highness, the Empress of China. I, the Lord Chamberlain, have been commanded to find the fabulous singing nightingale which is said to live nearby. The command of our Empress must be obeyed. Who can help me find this creature?
But no one could help him. The nightingale comes and goes as she pleases, someone said. We don't control her, but when she comes to visit us, we all stop what we're doing to listen. The Chamberlain was in despair. Soon it would be dinner time at the royal palace, and he was very fearful of returning to face the wrath of the Empress. As he trudged back to his horse, he was approached by a shy young girl.
Lord Chamberlain, excuse my boldness. Are you the one looking for my friend?
The Nightingale is your friend.
I see her often. She comes to visit me.
How do you get her to do that? You must tell me.
It is very simple. There is no mystery. I come to her because her song is beautiful. She comes to me for the pleasure of sharing her music, to share her music.
Young woman, it is very important that you help me find her. You would be doing a service to the nation of China. Will you help me? Can you? I shall see that you're rewarded handsomely. I shall see to it that you come to live in the palace as the royal minister of music.
I do not wish to leave this village. I love the simple life by the sea. I love the simple people who live here. I am one of them. But I will help you if you promise that the nightingale may come and go as she pleases, after she sings for the Empress. And you must promise that your search is only for the love of the music.
Yes, yes, I promise. Tell me.
While I want the nightingale to appear, I merely call her with a special song. When she hears it, she knows that I am near. And if you like, I'll teach it now to you. Listen, this is how it goes. Nightingale, oh, listen to my plea. Nightingale, come flying now to me. Come winging, come singing, come with sweet melody.
That is all? The bird will come?
That is all. The bird will come.
And with that, feeling very grateful to the young girl for her kindness in helping him, the Chamberlain set off for the forest. When he found a likely-looking spot, where the trees were especially tall and leafy, he set about looking for any sign of the nightingale and began to sing the song the village girl had taught him.
Nightingale, oh, listen to my plea. Nightingale, come flying now to me. Come winging, come singing, come with sweet melody. Nightingale, please sing your serenade. Nightingale, oh, please don't be afraid. I implore you, I'm waiting for you, I ask for your help and aid. Oh, mysterious, magical bird, where are you hiding? Where have you gone? Your song has never been heard within the royal music salon. Do not fear me, I mean no harm. I will show you a world of charm. Well, either she isn't listening or she isn't very impressed. Nightingale, you seem to be ignoring me. This is the forest where the villagers said I would find you, so you must surely hear my voice. Nightingale, let me explain my problem to you. Her Royal Highness, the Empress of China, has commanded me to find you and bring you back to her palace of porcelain and crystal. It's really very beautiful. I'm sure you would love it, so that she can hear you sing. You see, if you don't come back, if I fail in my task, the Empress will not be pleased. And when the Empress loses her temper and becomes very angry, sometimes people get put in dungeons, even chamberlains, I fear. So I was really hoping that you would take pity on me and share your music with Her Royal Highness. It's really quite an honor when you stop and think about it, there's that. Oh dear, I can't seem to find her. Wait, I know it might work. Children, you can help me. Okay, so the village girl said that the secret lay in that song that I was just singing. Maybe if we all sing that song together, that might do the trick. Okay, let's practice it. Let's practice the first few lines. I'll sing a line, and then you guys repeat it after me. Here are the words. You guys ready? Here's the first one. Listen to me. Nightingale, oh, listen to my plea. Now you. Nightingale, oh, listen to my plea. Nightingale, come flying now to me. Nightingale, come flying now to me. Come winging, come singing.
Come winging, come singing.
Come with sweet melody.
Come with sweet melody.
Excellent, you guys sound great. I think we're ready to see if our song might work. Oh, I really hope the Nightingale is listening. Okay, let's sing the whole thing all together, all the way through. You guys ready? Here we go. Nightingale, oh, listen to my plea. Nightingale, come flying now to me. Come winging, come singing. Come with sweet melody. Wait, there, in the distance. I think I see something in the sky coming towards us. Oh, it's definitely a bird coming right in this direction. Oh, I think it's her. I think it's the Nightingale.
Who's calling me? Who's calling me? I hear you. I come because you call me with the song I know so well. Who are you, and why have you called me here?
Oh, little bird, are you the singing nightingale whose song is known throughout the land?
I am. And have you called me here to sing for you? Are you a music lover too?
The music lover for whom you'll sing tonight is Her Highness, the Empress of China.
Oh my, I'm just a little forest bird. Are you sure the Empress will want to hear me
In fact, she has commanded me to bring you to her palace at once.
And so the chamberlain returned at once to the royal palace, with the little Nightingale flying at his side as fast as she could. He entered the palace grounds just as the sun was beginning to set. There was just enough time to arrange for the Nightingale to be introduced to the royal court at that evening's banquet.
News of the arrival of Nightingale spread quickly throughout the palace. All the nobles were most anxious to hear her sing. Darkness descended over China, and enormous platters of food are ready to be eaten in the royal banquet hall when the Empress herself entered. As always, she was greeted with the hymn of praise.
Sing praise to the Empress, sing praise to her name. Bow, bow in her presence, her glory and her claim. Radiant as the sunlight,
Lovely as the moon.
all her people love her.
That is why we sing this tune.
Sing praise to the Empress, sing praise to her name. Bow, bow in her presence, her glory and her claim.
So, this is where we can use your help in our story. We would like you all to play the parts of the nobles in attendance at the banquet. So, you are all the noble lords and ladies of China, and you've all just finished a tremendous feast of the finest meats, vegetables, and fruits. In fact, it was so delicious that you couldn't help but let out a big sigh. Ah, delicious. Let me hear all of you say that all together. Ah, delicious. Wonderful. You're all great actors.
When the banquet was over, the Empress stood and, raising her voice, called out to the chamberlain.
Bring out the Nightingale at once. We want the Nightingale.
Whereupon all the nobles joined her in demanding to hear from the Nightingale. All right, all you nobles, let me hear you demand. We want the Nightingale. Louder. We want the Nightingale. Much better.
And with that, the tiny little musician flew in, settling on a special silver perch the chamberlain had placed at the front of the banquet hall. A hush fell over the assembled guests. The Nightingale opened her mouth and began to sing.
Music is my gift to you. Music is my gift. Listen, oh listen to my song. I sing because I'm happy. I sing when I am sad. I sing because it makes me feel so glad to be alive. My melodies are like drops of rain. Their harmony is the ocean. My rhythm is the pulse of every heartbeat in the world. My words are all the murmurings of the rivers, brooks, and streams as they tumble o'er the earth. My audience is all
Nightingale finished her song, everyone was astonished at the beauty of her singing. They all called out, "Bravo! Bravo!" which is what a person says when a performer has done a good job. Remember, you're all playing the parts of the nobles, right? So let's call out "Bravo! Bravo!" to the Nightingale. Bravo! Bravo! Then a hush fell over the hall as the Empress, who was greatly moved by her music, approached the Nightingale.
Dearest Nightingale, you've touched me. In my life, I have never heard such singing. We thank you, Your Highness. I am honored by your praise. I give you now this golden chain to wear around your neck, to show you I regard you as the rarest bird in China. I wish you to remain with me. This now shall be your home. I need the golden chain. Your joy is my reward.
In the end, the Empress, who loved the Nightingale with all her royal heart, agreed to provide the Nightingale with a golden cage. The little bird would be allowed to leave her cage twice a day and once each night, but even then she would have silken threads tied to her legs, which were held by 6 servants, to prevent the Nightingale from flying away and returning to her forest home.
The Nightingale dearly missed the leafy green coolness of the forest. She missed drinking from the waters of the forest streams and singing for all the nearby villagers. But she felt very honored to be the prize singer of the Empress of all China, and each day she sang her best. Everyone at the palace, from the highest noble to the lowliest stable boy, would gather around open windows to listen as her voice soared out over the countryside.
All went smoothly and happily as days turned to weeks and weeks turned into months, with the Nightingale's fame spreading throughout the land. Then, one fine autumn day, the Chamberlain approached the Empress in a state of great excitement.
I have news, Your Highness. The Emperor of Japan has honored Your Highness by sending you a gift for your birthday.
Has he? And does he not know that every day is my birthday? That is true, is it not? Is not every day the birthday of a ruler of my glory and greatness?
Indeed, Empress, it is so. I agree that for the Empress of China, every day is her birthday.
Then why has he chosen this day to send a gift?
Because, Your Most Gracious Highness, this is the particular day which was Your Excellency's, well, day of birth, which is the best day for giving a gift.
I see. And are you going to honor me with a gift?
A gift?
Yes?
To you? Well, you see, how could I give any gift to you? You are the mighty and all-powerful Empress, which means that everything in China already belongs to you. How can I give you what is already yours?
Well, that is true. You are quite right. Well, what does His Highness the Emperor of Japan seem fit to give me?
It is something wondrous, Your Highness, a mechanical miracle worthy of your greatness. It is nothing less than a mechanical nightingale.
A mechanical nightingale. But I already have a nightingale! I don't want this! Send it back!
I'll do anything you command. But first, let me show it to you. Your Highness, please prepare yourself. You'll soon be overcome with amazement. This bird will stun and delight you. It's a miracle of technology. All you do is just wind it up, and it will sing music as you've never heard. And it won't fly away like a living bird. It won't fly away, it will stay. Since this bird is made mechanical. You'll never have to feed it.
So who needs that old nightingale? This bird has far exceeded it.
The Empress has decreed it.
I want this bird, I need it.
A simple thing made of wires and springs, and it's ready at any moment to serve you. Your Majesty, this bird deserves you.
And I deserve such a special gift. It's wonderful, just like me.
It's better than the nightingale.
Because it's mine forever. I'll never be without my bird.
It is so very clever. This bird is the best bird. This bird is the best.
Make it sing! I want to hear the mechanical nightingale sing!
As you wish, Your Highness. As Your Highness can see, this is the very same tune that the other nightingale sings. It's a miracle.
Well, it doesn't sound exactly the same, but isn't it marvelous that a machine has been invented that can take the place of birds? And as you said, it can never leave, and we don't have to feed it!
And from that point on, all anyone in the palace could talk about was the wonderful mechanical singing nightingale. The Empress kept it by her bedside at night and next to her throne during the day. Everyone forgot about the nightingale who had come from her forest home to charm the people of China. Saddened to be ignored and forgotten, she flew far away back to the woodlands near the little fishing village.
Time flew by quickly in the kingdom of China as the years came to pass. All was quiet in the palace. It was a time of peace. There were no enemy armies to wage war. Everyone worked hard and enjoyed plenty of food and shelter.
However, the Empress grew more and more unhappy with each year that passed. Perhaps she was just getting older and more tired. Perhaps her life had fallen into a boring routine. Whatever the matter was, her strength began to fail. None of the nobles or palace servants could cheer her up. In time, she became ill. Her skin was pale, she ate very little, and she was too weak to get out of bed. Her royal doctor visited her daily, but none of his pills, potions, or medicines brought any improvement in her condition. Her old friend, the Chamberlain, was very worried.
Your Highness, the royal chef has prepared some of your favorite foods. Hot, fluffy rice, sweet, juicy berries, and a glass of nectar. You must try and eat something or you will never regain your strength, Empress.
Please take it away. I can't think of food. I just don't care about anything, Lord Chamberlain.
Perhaps Her Excellency...
I can't.
Maybe if you went to your gardens to pick up...
Tired.
Oh, I know. Let's hear some music from the mechanical nightingale.
I would love some music, but something is wrong with it. It seems after all these years, something inside it is broken or worn down. Listen. You see?
Oh.
It's dreadful. Just dreadful.
I must consult with you, lords and ladies of China. I think I might know what is ailing the Empress. She is too proud to admit it, but I think she misses the real nightingale, the actual living bird who sang for her so beautifully years ago. And this mechanical bird was cleverly built, but she grew tired of its music. Also, it broke down and won't play anymore. No, I think the only thing that will restore our Empress to health and happiness is real music, performed by a living being. I can only hope the Nightingale is still listening, because this might be our last chance to find her. Let's try calling to her with that song that we used to sing. Will you guys help me? Okay, here we go. Nightingale, oh, listen to my plea. Nightingale, come flying now to me. Come winging, come singing, come with sweet melody. Oh dear. Guess it was asking a lot for the Nightingale to remember us after all this time. It was worth a try. But now I don't know what to do to help the Empress. Your Majesty, I wish with all my heart that I could restore your spirits with the joy of music. I tried my best, but I'm afraid that...
What's that? I hear something. I know that sound. It's her. It's her. It's the Nightingale. I heard you. I've come back to you. You don't look well. Is something wrong, Your Highness? I've gotten old and tired. There is no music to comfort me. I miss your singing, oh Nightingale. The beauty of your voice might strengthen me. Of course I'll sing for you. You are so kind to me, dearest friend. Music is my gift to you. I'll sing because you need me. Yes, I need you. Sing to make you whole. Joy is returning, for music is the strongest force the world has ever known. I feel my strength returning now. I promise that I fly to you when I hear you call.
Oh, Nightingale, I feel like my old self again.
So, you see, our story has a happy ending. Stories about the power of music usually do, you know. The Empress learned that music is not something you can own all for yourself. It belongs to everyone. The same goes for wild animals such as forest birds. They need to remain free. In exchange for daily songs to the Nightingale, the Empress allowed the Nightingale to come and go as she pleased. This way she could also visit her friends in the seaside fishing village. The Empress also learned something else about music. Machines that play music are wonderful inventions, but music is best when performed live by living beings, just like the four of us today.
Yes, singing is forever.